Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Cooper Knuckles, and this is Jammed Up. Today we're going to be looking at a video called The Sketchiest Monster Truck Venues. The reason I really wanted to dive into this video, react to this video, is to kind of get into the safety of why Monster Jam kind of tries to stay away from stuff like this, is because so many safety elements come to play to where if it's just straight up too sketchy. And it is insane that people still go to these, which I get it. They can only do so much at like a hockey arena or even a horse like venue, like where they race horses. They'll do a show there. But when it comes to safety at these events, it makes me appreciate how Monster Jam controls and does their venues and whatnot. I have to sneeze. All right, let's get into it. Also, be sure to check out this video. Link is down below. It is a California Monster Trucks. Be sure to go check them out. The link is down below. All right, let's get into it.
Monster trucks are big, fast vehicles, and monster trucks became famous in football stadiums and hockey and basketball arenas. But they also got their start and have spent most of their time in lower maintenance venues like speedways and rodeo arenas.
Speedways are one thing, because we've all seen some speedway racing. They get the speed going, and all that they got protecting them is like these fences. Now, not saying a truck's gonna go through that, but a tire. We've all seen that one video where the tire broke off and it literally bounced out of their little arena into the parking lot, which is insane. Not saying that couldn't happen in Monster Jam. It very well could, but obviously they have like a tether system that they've gotten pretty spat on. They've got the tether system very well done to where we don't have to worry about that too much. A freak accident would have to happen. But at a little independent show, they may not have that on there. They may just have a simple tether, which used to be what the Monster Jam used, and I'm so glad they didn't, because those used to be a pain in the ass putting those on. But if a tire broke off, all you have is this fence to hope it holds it back.
This still doesn't fully cover the wide variety of different venues that monster trucks have performed at, however. As with an attraction that doesn't require a large sanctioning body with extensive rules or even the most professional trucks to perform at an event somewhere, as long as somebody approves it.
What is this guy doing in here? I mean, not saying he's going to do anything, but what if the show needs it and the throttle hangs and he jumps right to the side of that building?
A set event, it in theory can take place wherever the promoter wants it to. This hasn't always been a good idea though, as there's been no shortage of venues that are woefully ill-equipped to host a monster truck competition, but have done so anyways.
This is why I feel like, I mean, granted, Monster Jam did do a couple arena shows overseas, and the problem with, I meant concrete shows. The concrete only shows, I hate that they wish they wouldn't do them. Granted, this is a hockey arena, and the fact that it's on concrete with these types of tires, the traction will grab a lot faster. As we saw there, he did a nice little sky wheelie. And the cars, the reason I also think Monster Jam got rid of the cars for the sake of debris flying is, one, in a small-ass little hockey arena like this overseas, a debris from a car can easily get shot up into the stands. Easily.
Ideally, you'd want a venue that's able to contain what these trucks are going to do within it, instead of the trucks being in danger of breaking out at any moment. In this video, we're here to highlight some of the sketchiest and least safe venues that monster trucks have run in.
This photo says a lot. Again, going on to the tire breaking off, imagine this little tire broke off and went right through. It'll ramp off these concrete blocks here. Whoop-ah! Right into all these people.
So, what defines a sketchy or unsafe monster truck venue?
I would say,
size.
If I had to say, it would have to be super small, a little arena, barely any barricade that will easily hold anything back, and people sitting too close to the show. That's what I would consider being too sketchy.
This is the first factor. Do the trucks have enough room to jump around and not worry about running into a wall or hitting the ceiling? If a truck were to run into a wall, would the barriers actually be able to stop or slow the truck down? Are the spectators well protected from the trucks if this were to happen, and are they a safe distance from the track in case the truck was to tip over, let alone crash through a wall?
Damn, see, like, Why do we have people right here? Like, why is there people here? They would be 10 times better up there, obviously. But the fact that they're right here is just insane.
Is the ventilation any good? Or are the fans getting headaches before freestyle can begin? Few venues will be 100% monster truck proof, but if the
Damn.
drivers were doing everything correctly within the best of their abilities, if something were to go wrong, the area containing the monster trucks should be able to keep the spectators out of harm's way.
Hey, where have we seen that crash before? That wreck right there looked a little too familiar, did it not? Kind of wild.
Also, I won't be including car
This
crush
is
exhibitions in this video because
Yeah.
while those have almost always had minimal safety barriers, if any
Bro, it's just a rope. A rope is what's holding these people back. Oh my god.
at all, it's not a competition, it's not really a venue, and the truck isn't meant to really carry any real speed, so it's not being judged in the same way. That doesn't mean we shouldn't worry about safety at car crashes, because if anything, these are more
Are you shitting me? Bro, why is there nobody like over here? Like, I don't even know how you would guard this off, you know?
important, but they're not the main focus of this video. So, let's find out what is.
Alright.
This past February, the Southeast Expo Center in McAlester, Oklahoma held a Monster Trucks Maniac show, and while the floor space and ceiling height are no problem, the barricades themselves are what left
Oh
much
my
to be
God.
desired, or lack thereof.
Yeah, this is just insane to literally that can easily slide. And this fence ain't protected nothing.
For barricades. Staggered concrete road barriers in front of construction fence that's less than 10 feet away from the bleachers is hardly
This looks foggy as shit. It's not, I know it's not fog, but like, brother.
enough to stop a monster truck on slick concrete. So while the venue is adequate in terms of size, its spectators are not well protected when there's no solid barricades in place. The Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa, Iowa sports a modestly sized convention center and concert hall, but amazingly enough, it has also hosted monster trucks before. This video is from a Monster Truck Winter Nationals show, where obviously the ceiling is extremely low and any decent air will have a
I have a feeling I know what this video is.
truck colliding with the roof supports. There's also no static barricade to keep the trucks from most of the audience, with this show instead relying on a row of concrete road barriers with very little room for error.
The fact that you can sit this close to this is just, I'm going to say that a lot. It's insane.
As there's less than a full truck length between the cars and the barriers. While these might help slow a truck down,
Oh my gosh.
on a slippery concrete surface like this, what we saw earlier this year at a demolition derby in Tulsa shows that if a car can easily
Bro, yeah, if a demolition car could do this, holy shit.
move these barriers out of the way, a monster truck can too.
This just opens up your eyes a little bit to where it's like, I will appreciate Monster Jam, Feld Entertainment, in taking their risk a lot serious because it puts no one in danger. This is just from my perspective of it all. Is it's just why there's no business for it. I understand some people can't go to an arena show, some people can't go to a stadium show, they can't afford it. I understand that, but don't risk your fucking life going to the cheap show like this. Nothing against them, but that's just it's too small of a risk, if you know what I mean. And it just goes to appreciation. I'm going to say, I feel like I'm a monster truck glazer right now. I'm not trying to be. I'm just flat out saying, with Monster Jam, making sure the barricades, making sure people are safe 100% first is where you should appreciate a lot of. And I do appreciate him for doing that because I wouldn't want to go to a show and put my child at risk or any of that. You know what I mean?
We know that these barriers aren't always enough to stop a loose tire,
Oh,
as we can
see
see
what I
in
mean?
this video.
See what I mean?
This event
Why did none of them move? Why did none of them move?
loose tire, as we can
Okay, this child,
see in this video.
nobody met. Survival instincts of a fart.
This event at the Oakley-Lindsay Civic Center in Quincy, Illinois, also shows a venue that has no static or effective barriers to protect
This bike rack is definitely going to prevent
the
it.
audience, as Steve Corsio's Monster Truck Thunder Tour only had bike fences as a barricade, with fans sitting on metal folding chairs on the floor. This type of setup does
I do believe those are plastic.
a better job keeping the fans away from the trucks than it does keeping the trucks away from the fans. It's hard to make out just how big the track was based on the videos we have, but even with a much higher ceiling than Ottumwa had, there isn't much room for the trucks to work with, and the fans shouldn't have to watch the show like this. The War Memorial Arena in Johnstown, Pennsylvania has hosted monster trucks dating back to the 1980s. While this kind of setup would have been acceptable for the era, running shows into the 2000s and
was that Excalibur? By God, it sure looks like it. Yeah, this okay. We've come a long way. We got a guy right here for racing.
running shows into the 2000s in a very small arena where fans are sitting at ground
Good thing we have a net holding the trucks back.
level behind hockey dasher boards does not show a very high regard for crowd safety. There was some extreme determination to run events in this venue though over the years, as back in 2000, the trucks were literally racing on the ice and had to use rubber mats for grip. This is also
That's
the same
insane. Oh, uh-oh.
It's also the same arena as this Too Close for Comfort rollover from Black Knight, although this does show the importance of making sure there's a full truck length between the obstacle and the barrier, so you don't end up with a monster truck in your lap. The veteran
It looked like he was also, I don't know if you could consider him trying to do a stoppie, but like,
so you don't end up with a
nah, it looks like he was holding the brakes right there. I was going to say, that's the other thing, too, is that now with Monster Jam doing these stoppies, and people are expecting all these other trucks to do it, to where now you got independent shows doing stoppies and whatnot. Not saying it's any bad, but like imagine they're trying to impress you by doing a stoppie that close to the fence, and then you just roll it over.
monster truck in your lap. The Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Marion, Ohio is adequate when it comes to its infrastructure, but it's extremely inadequate when it comes to its floor space, and thus the monster trucks have to perform very close to the fans on a very cramped track.
You know, the plus side of this one is at least there was a wall here, and well, I guess there are two. I was gonna say from here 2 rows looks like enough. This does not look like enough, but I mean the concrete wall is a little higher, so that's a somewhat of a plus. So it just depends on the type of crash you get, and this ramp to here hit. Oh my God.
While it usually hosts indoor football and various conventions, this arena has amazingly hosted monster trucks for over 15 years, both with and without dirt on the floor. The floor is decent when it comes to length, but it's really only half as wide as it should be. This is also the same place where Paul Briode was accidentally run over while helping guide drivers into their parking spots, which could have happened at any venue, but it just so happened to be this very small and cramped one. This year's Monster Truck Wars event featured a
Gosh, this is insane.
blinding cloud of dust filling the arena after trucks have been kicking up the dry dirt throughout the event, with nowhere for the dust to go other than to just settle in the air. This seems to have been an aberration since usually shows here with dirt aren't near.
How do you continue to do this? This is like highway robbery when it comes to like during the show. It's like this whole shit right here. That's like you're just stealing money from the fans because they did not pay for that. They didn't pay for that at all. I mean, a lot of these people probably paid for Monster Jam, and they thought this was gonna be the exact same, and this is what they get. I would be pissed.
Nearly as dusty, but the ventilation in the building was clearly not enough to handle it, and the track wasn't watered enough to prevent it. There's a seemingly endless number of rodeo arenas with sparse infrastructure that have hosted monster truck events over the years, usually only having cattle fencing as a barricade and with fans sitting on bleachers that go to the floor, such as the Desert Empire Fairgrounds and
That's insane. Jumping towards them. Oh my no. There's this. There should be no seating if you're facing the ramp. I don't care. Call me a safety Sally all you want. That's just insane.
Ridgecrest, California, the Crosby Fair and Rodeo in Crosby, Texas, or the Hugo Rodeo Arena in Hugo, Oklahoma. The Tri-State Exhibition Center in McDonald, Tennessee actually has wood fences as a barricade instead of metal ones. However, the Logan County Agriculture Arena in Russellville, Kentucky is a different story, as not only are the barricades minimal and the audience is sitting at the ground level, but the ceiling is barely tall enough for a truck to get about 5 feet of air. The floor space itself is decent, but venues like this make you wonder if the juice really is worth the squeeze.
It is
As a
not.
spectator, it probably isn't. The Hippodrome in Waterloo, Iowa was constructed in 1919 and has hosted dozens of monster truck events over the years, but it really had no business doing so. For a building made mostly out of wood, with a low ceiling, small floor, and weak barricades, its infrastructure is not monster truck friendly. Former gravedigger driver.
That was the race. That was the race.
So, for a building made mostly out of wood, with a low ceiling, small floor, and weak barricades, its infrastructure is not.
Brother, if my kid asked me to go see a monster truck show and that's what I gave him, I feel like that kid has all right to disown me as a parent. That's just me. That was insane for a race. That's just why they shouldn't even be in these small ass venues, is because you can't put on a show that people will appreciate. I mean, a 5-year-old will, because it's a monster truck, but you should not be doing this type of racing. If you cannot do a formal like Chicago style race or even a time trial like they do in some arenas, you're not doing it correctly. Maybe you are. I don't know. I may be being a little too harsh here, but I don't know about that one, baby. I don't know about that one.
Monster truck friendly. Former gravedigger driver Rod Schmidt said that running in the Hippodrome was one of his sketchiest shows ever, with the nose of the truck almost touching the rafters on wheel stands. Unfortunately for 2X Monster Trucks owner Jimmy Cretin, his tour would experience its own personal Waterloo when in 2022, 77 spectators would have to be medically treated at a local hospital for carbon monoxide poisoning after his event.
Oh my God! Bro, this is why... Bro, I knew, like, I talked to some of the people, they would go there, and they would, like, test the air quality and do all this. This is why you need to be doing this stuff. This is why Monster Jam's even on top of that. There's been some times where they've had to take a longer halftime to let the air quality, like, get better. So they've actually have taken time to get the air quality better before they continued the show. It sucks for them. They hate it because it's pausing the show, but they're being smart and they're doing everything correctly. So when you go to a small arena like this, they don't care. They don't care at all. They're just trying to get through the show, make some money on merchandise, pack it up onto the next. It's like a circus. This is like the circus when it comes to this. So I'm not saying this is all independent crew. They're not all independent shows do this. Not all of them. But some of them, they're just trying to make a buck, and it's like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's like when in reality you didn't need to be here.
Many passing out or throwing up. Now, poor ventilation isn't that obscure in the world of monster trucks, as watering eyes and a headache were just part of the experience if you were sitting in the cheap seats in a small arena.
No, not really. I mean, I don't remember a Monster Jam show where I went to where I'm like, oh my God, in the stands. Because we sat in the stands sometimes when we were crewing. Yeah, no, there was none of those. I don't believe. It was only when you're like in the back of the tent or if you're in the trailer when you're like really messing with your eyes, you know? So the cheap sheets are non-existent in the Monster Jam world when it comes to getting that in your eyes. That's not a thing. Unless it's like I don't know, because I was in, my one hockey arena I was in I don't know why I can't think of it now, Rosemont in Chicago. That was a small arena, and I went in there to watch, because I was crewing for Armando, did his freestyle, did his whole thing, and I was like kind of bottom of the barricade or whatnot. It wasn't that bad.
This isn't a good thing, by the way, but it's not uncommon for buildings that aren't capable of quickly removing exhaust fumes, or when a truck's motor is running way too rich and filling the building with way too many of said fumes. This is one of the main reasons why EFI is now used in Monster Jam, to combat this issue as much as possible. Still, just having well-tuned trucks in a building with decent ventilation will do the job most of the time.
Bro,
in the case of the 2X show in Waterloo,
imagine going to hit that, and it looks like his corner broke.
Trucks in a building with decent ventilation will do the job most of the time.
Brother.
In the case of the 2X show in Waterloo, while the building already wasn't good at ventilating fumes, it was noted that the venue hadn't even made their usual attempts at ventilation, like keeping doors and windows open or running their large ceiling fans. As a result, the final monster truck event at the Hippodrome was almost a deadly one. Now we have to cover perhaps the most infamously ill-equipped venue to have hosted a monster truck show to date. Iowa, you must really want to dominate this video, because in Mason City, Iowa in 2009, yet another Steve Corcio show was held at the North Iowa Event Center. Not the dirt track or any of the open lots on the property.
Bro, that dirt track would have been perfect. Kind of. That would have been perfect. You have the seats here. You can do all the shows here. And you have all this room.
Track or any of the open lots on the property, but inside the All Seasons building, reserved for flea markets and vendor shows.
Absolutely should not.
As a result, the trucks were nearly bursting through the ceiling and almost taking out the ceiling lights, which Barefoot nearly did after rolling over backwards. The crowd will be sitting on small bleachers behind metal cattle fence, and only a single row of crush cars was on the floor. For the sake of the industry, we can hope that this was the only show held at this venue. The fatal incident in Columbia earlier this year
This was kind of a reason why I wanted to react to this video.
Involving Steve Hurley's Dragona monster truck is just about everything you could do wrong when hosting a monster truck event. While Steve Hurley should already have been banned from the industry for the rest of his life, the combination of no RII, insufficient safety barriers, and an archaic truck that could incapacitate its driver is beyond infuriating to see in the current year.
Yeah, like literally, if you don't have a way to shut that off, you're asking for it.
And multiple people are now dead because of it. Now, the vast majority of monster truck and tour owners in the US have not been careless enough to run their events this way, but things can still go wrong in a venue that should be able to handle the risk.
What were you? Oh.
Thankfully,
I don't think that tire hit anybody, but what was it? What was Homeboy gonna do?
But things can still go wrong in a venue that should be able to handle the
He thought about it and was like, "Oh shit!"
risk. Thankfully, these types of incidents rarely happen, but the last thing we need to do as an industry is
that El Toro?
To keep running in risky venues just so some monster...
Where I'm at with this race here, why couldn't they go over more? Like, go that way farther, you know what I mean?
Trucks can jump around and some people can make a bit of money. Thankfully, we're all long past the Mike Welch...
Why is this guy here? Why?
Standards of safety, but this isn't about holding everybody to a Monster Jam standard, but the industry needs to look out for each other across the board. Being extra careful is an obvious solution, but why even put everybody in the situation
fuck
to begin with?
Tears. Oh my god.
Don't accept these risks as a fan either, because
no, that's just no.
It's a really stupid risk to take for a form of entertainment that's not that important.
That's stupid. This is why I will never go to a show like this. Not to not support, but stupidity should not be celebrated, I guess, in a way. Is to where Monster Jam, obviously people sitting up here, perfect. Monster Jam would never allow anybody past the front end of other trucks that are parked. You're sitting in the back. If you can't see, you can't see. It sucks for you, but nah, it's just.
The RII is the greatest invention in monster truck history, but let's not force it to solve all of our problems.
Oh, there you go. Good video. What are these suggested videos? Games are taking over. Oh my god. All right, well, yeah. So, yeah, pretty much what did we learn from this video is that people who do small venues just to make a quick buck put a lot of people's lives in danger. So, what should we do to avoid said issues? I would believe we need to stay away from even attempting, in that little what do you call it? In the little fairgrounds little area. Don't even attempt it. If your hood of the truck can go through the ceiling by a tiny little jump, it's not worth it. Why we shouldn't be allowing it. I mean, I get it. It's cheap. It's a cheap show. Everyone can go to this one. But at what cost? When a tire could break off, like I said at the beginning, and we saw plenty of examples when it comes to that. We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing any of that. But, yeah. Well, go ahead. Like, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And we'll see you in the next one. I'll probably be back in my other studio setup. So, yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. And let me know if you want to see me do another one of these. This is a little experimental, seeing how we could do here. feel like we all learned a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.